Another fundamental accounting principle you must know about is the money measurement concept. The money measurement concept simply states that only transactions that are quantifiable in monetary terms are recorded in the books. So accountants are only interested in things that can be put in monetary terms, usually, for the most part. Because if you are preparing financial statement, hey, can we put money value on it? Then it can be recognized. Now, although that is the issue there are certain things that cannot be put into monetary terms, or you cannot easily determine the monetary value. And so in that case, you cannot recognize it in the books. You cannot recognize it in the financial statement. However, you must disclose them in the notes to the financial statement. Because you see, when we talk about the financial statements of a company, the financial statements of a company for the most part will be made up of the statement of profit or loss or the income statement, the statement of the changes in equity, the statement of financial position, the cash flow statement, and then also the notes to the financial statement. So the notes form part of the financial statements of the entity. And so there are certain things, they cannot be quantified in monetary terms, but we have to disclose them in the notes to the financial statement. But when it comes to recognition, things to be incorporated in the financial statement, the money measurement concept states that the things should be measurable in monetary terms, in monetary units, then we can recognize it in the books. But as I said, it is important for you to understand that if we cannot place money value on the thing, to enhance faithful representation of financial statement, we have to disclose it in the notes to the financial statement. So let me give you an example. For instance, if the government gives us a research data, right? So maybe we are going into a business, and then government has already done a research. So the government shares the research report with us. Okay, it means we don't have to spend money to do the research again. Now, that research report that the government has given us is a form of government assistance. And so in accordance with IAS 20, accounting for government grant and disclosure of government assistance, because that research report the government has furnished us with is a government assistance, we must disclose it in the notes to the financial statement. And that is to enhance faithful representation of the financial statement. So that when someone picks our financial statement and we have recorded X amount of profit, the person will go to the note and realize that, oh, there was a research we were supposed to do, but we didn't do the research because the government has already done the research and the government shared the research report with us. So maybe this year you are happy that, oh, we are making X amount of profit. But if we had undertaken the research ourselves, we would have spent Y amount of money, and that would have reduced our profit. And so the disclosure of that government assistance in the notes enhances faithful representation of the financial statement and enables the users of the financial statement to really understand what is going on in the financial statement and helps them to make better decisions as to whether to continue to invest in the company or otherwise. So that is also something you must understand when we talk about the money measurement concept. And the exceptional thing is that although some things are not measurable in monetary terms, faithful representation requires that we will be able to disclose them in the notes to the financial statement. Another one which we have already spoken about in the previous episode is the going concern concept. The going concern concept simply means that an entity should be seen as the one operating into the foreseeable future so that the accounts at the end of one accounting year will not be closed, but will be brought forward into the next accounting year. But you got to be careful. When we say a business can operate into the foreseeable future, we are not talking about 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now. No. It simply means, can the entity operate within the next 12 months? And so when it comes to the preparation and presentation of financial statements, preparers of financial statement must assess the going concern status of the entity. In other words, can this entity be in business within the next 12 months? Will this entity be here in the next 12 months? If the answer is yes, the entity can be here in the next 12 months, and that has been estimated reliably, then the financial statement will be prepared on a going concern basis, meaning that balance brought down from this accounting year will be taken as balance brought forward in the next accounting year. Very sweet, simple, straight to the point. But if management assesses or preparers of financial statements assess that the entity cannot operate into the foreseeable future, in other words, cannot be here or will not be here within the next 12 months, then the financial statement will be prepared on a breakup basis. What does that mean? It means we are liquidating the business has come to an end, assets will be sold, liabilities will be paid, and any money that will be left will be distributed to the ordinary or equity shareholders of the business. So that is what you must understand when we talk about a going concern. Now, this idea is very fundamental when it comes to preparing a financial statement. So at the end of the year, once financial statements are being prepared, management and preparers of financial statement are going to be sitting down to assess, can this entity continue as a going concern? Number two, when auditors come and auditors are auditing the financial, examining the financial statement, they must also assess the going concern status of the entity. Can this entity continue as a going concern? In other words, will this entity be there in the next 12 months? So in auditing, going concern is very important at the end of the day. From an investor's perspective, you want to invest in a company, going concern status is key. If you're an employee of a company, assessing the going concern of the company you are working for is important because job security is crucial. So you want to assess, will this entity be here in the next 12 months? If the entity cannot be here in the next 12 months, then it's better off you start looking for a new job somewhere else. So what does that mean? It means that the assessment of the going concern status of an entity is crucial to key stakeholders, from the preparers of financial statements, auditors, investors, shareholders, employees, and in most cases, even the government, right? The government sometimes is interested in that because government relies on businesses for tax, right? So government will be interested in looking at the ability of an entity to continue as a going concern. That is why in most cases, when businesses are in trouble, government can step in to bail them out. The reason government bails out businesses is, number one, job security, right? Providing job to the people, because people will become unemployed and blah, blah, blah. That will be a negative vibe or negative reflection on the government. So they bail out companies so that jobs can be sustained and people will be employed. Number two is tax. Because when the business is still ongoing, the company is going to pay corporate tax. The employees are going to pay PAYE, personal income tax, and those things. And there are other forms of taxes that the government can get as a result of the continuous existence of the businesses, right? And then the total contribution of the business to the economic development, economic growth, GDP of the country at the end of the day. And so the government, as a stakeholder, is also interested in the going concern of various companies at the end of the day. Again, that is why in some jurisdiction, in many countries, government will step in to bail out some companies so that they will continue to be in existence at the end of the day when their going concern is uncertain in respect of that. So that is also another fundamental accounting principle that you must understand. Let me hear from you. Any other principle that you want me to cover, and I'll catch you on the next one as we continue with our discussion on the fundamental issues you must understand when we talk about accounting. And I'll see you on the next one. So if you learned something from this video, remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share the video so that others can also see this. Most importantly, let me hear from you if there are any questions you have, or if you have any topic that you would want me to cover on the next episode, leave it in the comment section. I want to read from you. If you want to enroll as well in our courses to study under my mentorship for your ICA, ACCA, CIMA, or ICAG examination, you can head on to our website, NhyiraPremium.com, or download the Nhyira Premium mobile application on the Google Play Store or the App Store to complete your enrollment. You can also send us a message on WhatsApp or call us 050-114-9296. 050-114-9296. Complete your enrollment today to join our community. Let me hold your hand, provide you with the blueprints that you need with the team here. Let us assist you. This is our mission. This is what we do. This is what we are called for. And we have the resources, the skills, the expertise needed to help you to pass the examination. So visit our website, NhyiraPremium.com, to read more about us. Or better still, download the Nhyira Premium mobile application on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. You want to get personal? hit us with a DM or send us a message on WhatsApp 050-114-9296. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.